On a perfect day, I know that I can count on you. When that's not possible, tell me, can you weather the storm? Cause I need somebody who will stand by me. When it's good times or bad times, she will always be right there. Sunny days, yeah. Everybody loves them, but tell me, baby, can you stand the rain? Oh, storms will come. This we know for sure. This we know. Tell me, baby, can you stand the rain? How do I say goodbye to what we had? The good times that made us laugh, yeah, outweigh the bad. I thought we'd get to see tomorrow, but tomorrow's gone away. It's so hard to say goodbye yesterday, and I'll take with me the memory to be my sunshine after the rain. Oh, and it's so hard to say goodbye to yesterday.
All right, glad to be here with you today.
Hi.
I'm Lloyd Spence.
I'm Kenyatta Spence.
And this is I Still Do.
Oh, okay.
I'm ready.
Okay.
You got to get your game face on.
Game face.
I'm Lloyd Spence.
I'm Kenyatta Spence.
And this is
I Still Do. Woo-hoo!
Let me tell y'all what's going on. I'm trying to train Mama in NOIZ in the behind the scenes production type stuff, like how to do it and man, it's like watching somebody try to twirl all the plates.
Wow.
She gonna get it though. All right. It's good to see everybody. And we're excited to be here to do another show with you guys. We love being here with you on Saturday. This is a fun time because we get to talk about some amazing stuff. So Mama NOIZ, this is your show that you planned today. So what are we talking about?
Great. So today's topic is the 5 love languages of an apology.
Ooh.
Wow. Right? Now, I know some of the guys, first thing they say is, oh, no. 5 love languages of something else, because there seems to be 5 love languages of quite a few different things. However, today's topic is the 5 love languages of an apology.
Is it love language or just languages?
I apologize. The 5.
No, I'm asking because I don't know.
5 languages of apology.
Should it be love languages?
Of course it should
I know
be.
they didn't title it that, but should it be love languages?
I think it should be. Because, if an apology is not lovingly given.
Well, that's why I think the author made a mistake.
If it's empty.
That's now we up and running. If an apology is empty, it's not a good apologies. Which brings us to our first question, right?
Right. So the first question on our topic is, why should we apologize in the first place?
So the common thread is I apologize when I feel I've done something wrong. But is that true? Is that the only time you should apologize, when you feel you've done something wrong?
Absolutely not.
Explain.
I don't think it should be when you just feel like, because whether you think you have or not, the person knows whether there's been an offense or that there's been justifiable cause for an apology. You may not be aware of it.
That's an interesting phrase. Justifiable cause for apology. You have reached justifiable cause for an apology. That's actually a really interesting phrase, because I think we oftentimes don't like to apologize when we feel like we're right.
Oh, yeah.
When I feel like I'm right in a circumstance, I don't want to apologize to you. I'm right and you're wrong, and that's just how it is. But so that, and maybe you're going to answer this in your questions or whatever, but I don't know. That's oftentimes when people feel like they're right, they don't want to apologize. So that brings back that question: why should I apologize?
Well, correct, but then also, it's like, okay, in the midst of an argument, who is the person that apologizes?
That's also a good question.
Like, the reason where you just said, what was it? How did you word it? You said,
you talking about just now?
Yeah, just now, what you just said.
I feel like I'm right, so I shouldn't have to apologize.
So then it's like, okay, well, then whomever feels like, if you're saying that I shouldn't be the one that has to apologize, but then the person that you're in this disagreement with may feel like they're the one that should.
I'm saying I shouldn't have to apologize. What did you just say? You said I feel like I feel like I'm right, and you said
the person that you're in the disagreement with may feel like that they shouldn't have to apologize.
Okay. So then what is an apology for?
Well, it says here, I'm going to tell you more so than what it says here, is that both people, it's for both of you. It's not just, an apology is not just for the person with the offense. Okay. It's for the other person as well to gain understanding of whatever it is the offense, that merited an apology.
But okay, that's weird. Okay, so
is that confusing?
A little bit because if I don't think I've done anything wrong to you, why do I need to apologize? So how does that benefit me? Could I get you to calm down?
Well, in this life, you may end up crossing the same situation again.
Okay.
So an apology is necessary to help you to understand how to communicate better.
What? How does that help me to understand how to communicate better?
Maybe that's an area that's not your strong point.
I don't understand what you're saying. Because if I feel like I'm right, then why do I need to apologize?
Maybe you feel like you're right because you don't quite understand what happened, what took place. There are some times when I'm in a situation with you that I may not quite understand is why I'm standing my ground. But then once you explain it and you break it all down, and then it's like, oh, wow, I've been standing my ground and stuff, trying to act like I don't have to apologize. But now once I thoroughly understood the conversation or thoroughly understood what took place, sometimes my emotions have me over here in this place. But once I thoroughly understand what's going on, then it's like, wow, I'm up here standing my ground like I don't have to apologize. But once I understand it,
But what am I apologizing for? You keep saying, okay, but what am I apologizing for?
For whatever the offense. If you've offended me or I've offended you, that's why we're apologizing.
Okay.
To one another.
Okay. But what again? I feel like we're on a circular loop right now.
Okay.
If I feel like I haven't offended you, then why should I have to apologize?
Well, one is because...
Does it matter that I feel like I offended you? Does it matter that I don't feel like I have?
It matters.
Why does it? Okay. So it matters that I don't feel like I offended you, or so I shouldn't have to apologize.
That matters.
And see, that's where I would disagree.
You think it shouldn't matter?
It doesn't matter if I feel like I offended you or not. If I am now I'm switching seats.
Okay.
So now you're the person that says, well, why should I have to apologize? I don't think I offended you. Doesn't matter what you think. I am offended. I am offended by what you said, by what you did. So I'm offended. So that was the reason why I asked the question, because I wanted to dive into it a little deeper.
Okay.
Because a lot of times we think an apology is for like you said, maybe the book even said it, and I don't necessarily agree with it, but I think there's some principles in the book that are good. But I don't think apology is not for both of us. An apology is for the person who feels as though they were offended.
Oh, okay.
Because if do you want to win an argument or a disagreement, or do you want peace? That's the question. Do you want to win or do you want peace? Peace says, what do I have to do to bring peace back to this situation? Because your spirit is uneasy because of something I've done or said. Right? Mm-hmm. So the win says, you're wrong, I'm right, and you need to bow down in your wrongness.
I think that's the concept that most people have.
That is the concept that most people
are. It is either win or loss.
And I think that's the thing that keeps people from getting to their apology, or a genuine apology, because an apology feels like a submission of I quit and you won. When the truth of the matter is, the apology should bring or usher in the peace.
And the lack thereof, nobody wins.
Well, no. In the other one, a person can win, but is the win bring peace? I can pummel you and destroy you and say, I ain't apologizing, I'm right and you're wrong, and I walk away and you walk away. But is there any peace in our home?
No.
So
No, I'm also my mind is roaming as if there's no peace, but then there's also still the understanding is still not there.
the understanding is not exactly. The understanding is not there. So what have you? So the thing that I would start with this conversation is, what are you trying? So why should I apologize? That to me is a great question, but it may not be the first question. Maybe the real first question is, what do you want to achieve in this apology? What is the apology for?
Okay.
In theory, not in this specific situation, in the overall theory of apologies, what is an apology for? I think an apology is the vehicle by which resolve and peace comes between two people.
Okay.
That's my own personal definition.
I agree with that.
You like that?
Yes,
I did that. I God gave me that. High five to me.
God is awesome.
God is awesome. God is awesome.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm saying.
But see, that's why I agree with you in the beginning about it's incorporated in, it's a love language.
Right. That's what I'm saying. Well, that's why I asked the question, because do I love you enough to put aside my desire to win the argument for the peace of our marriage? Ooh, bars.
I'm here for it. And the reason that it blows my mind is because we're taught to win.
We feel as though there has to be a person that's right and there has to be a person that's wrong.
And dare I say, as a parent, when children are small, we teach them to say sorry.
Yes.
We teach the children to say sorry, and they don't even know what they're saying sorry for. We just teach them. I mean, they know that it was because something had happened, but we just teach them to say. That's why I was
And by the way,
segueing into
this. Yeah. By the way, sometimes there is a right and there is a wrong. There is sometimes, yes. but it's not the right and the wrong of the circumstances should not also be coupled with a loser and a winner. It's more so and if I can use this term, this is a terrible term, but it's the right term for this conversation. It's the difference between being ignorant and having understanding. Ignorant means I don't know what this is. I don't know what is being communicated here. I don't understand what this is. Understanding is exactly what it sounds like. It's I get it. I know what you're talking about. I now see your side. Mm-hmm. So the apology should filter or usher in better understanding.
Yes.
Because your apology should be from a place of, I get what you said, or I get what you did, or I get how I hurt you. If it doesn't achieve any of those goals, I don't know what you're apologizing for. Like, what do you, just to end an argument, that's not a good reason.
But that's what we've been conditioned.
Right.
We've been conditioned to go ahead and concede.
Yeah.
And just.
Well, because most of us don't like conflict. We don't like conflict.
But the conflict still remains until there's understanding.
Well, here's the thing.
And an apology.
Here's the thing about what you just said. The conflict is going to remain beyond, the conflict is going to remain throughout the levels of misunderstanding. So if I never get understanding, an apology, saying on the words, I'm sorry, is not going to help this circumstance. If you don't know, we say it all the time. Do you know, I think I've said it to you, you said it to me, do you even know what you're apologizing for? So if you don't know, why are you saying the words?
But when you've been conditioned your whole life and you've never been challenged by anyone,
like you said earlier about the kids, yeah,
to ask, no one's ever asked you, What are you apologizing for? You just know that you're supposed to say it so that things can continue. And right now we're at a standstill because there's no apology gone forth. But once you say, I'm sorry, things are supposed to move forward.
Yeah.
But if you don't understand the purpose for the apology, then it's just some words.
Yeah. And Ron is funny. He's funny. He said, I work better in dysfunction. And while that may be true for you, Ron, that may not be true for your spouse. Or it may not be true for your coworker, or it may not be true. You know what I'm saying? And listen, I'm adaptable. So I can pretty much function in any environment, but I don't like to function especially as I get older. As I get older, I want less and less conflict because I just don't want to spend my days like that. I would prefer to be able to just resolve conflict quickly and move on to more productive things. That's my opinion in that regard. But so before we ever get to the 5 languages, I think the first and maybe the most crucial aspect of the apology is understanding what you're apologizing for. Like, do you know and understand the reason why you should be making an apology? Because you can't step into that realm until you know. And it doesn't even make sense to step in that realm. And by the way, the other side of that statement is, and you accept, based on what you now understand to be the circumstances, that an apology is necessary. You understand what I'm saying? Like, okay, I get now what your point of view is, or how I've offended you, and I believe now the only way to make this right is to offer you the language of apology.
Okay.
Genuine apology. Because if you don't know, man, you're just out here. And listen, I'll say this, and I mean this is the truth. Because we've all done it. I've apologized just to get it over with. I'm tired of this. Fine, I'm sorry. Look at her face. Y'all see her face when I said that? That's the reaction. What I just said. And that's what happens when you give a blanket, uninformed, disconnected apology. Go ahead.
I agree. I was gonna agree with that. Is that you know the difference, and you know the difference, and you can feel it. You can feel authenticity or the lack thereof.
Right.
You know that you've had this.
You didn't mean that.
Right. You know you didn't, if you meant it or not. But the part is, there's no standard apology.
What do you mean?
Like, it differs from person to person.
Oh, okay.
That's why, like, in this book, it talks about the 5 love languages. I added the love part. The 5 languages of an apology is because there are some people that, let me just go ahead and say what all 5 of them are.
Go ahead.
Is that there are some people that are this, like, I just want to have you express. I need the expression of regret.
Okay.
That you are truly, okay. And I don't want to go into each one until I get to, but I do want to say what each one is. And then number 2, accepting responsibility, or I was wrong. Number 3, making restitution. What can I do to make things right?
Okay.
Number 4, genuinely repenting. I'll try not to do that again.
All right. And
number 5, requesting forgiveness. Will you please forgive me?
These are interesting.
Now, there's some people that's like, you're not.
These are very interesting.
I don't believe it's an apology unless it has the expressing regret. If I can't see it, the regret, if I can't see that, it's like in a court of law. You know, when you go you've seen many court shows, and then the judge says, you know, I don't even see any remorse for what happened. You're sitting there looking like you're proud about what it is that you did. They're expecting to see some type of expression.
What does regret look like?
Regret. What does it look like? It looks like, man, I hurt the person I love, and I would never want.
But I don't love them.
Well, then, I mean, what are you doing in a relationship?
But is this all relationship based? Is this the This is a relationship conversation.
This is
okay.
Yes.
All
this
right.
is relationship based.
Fair enough.
But I mean, why are you in a relationship if you can't apologize? And some of the reasons why people do some of the stuff that's...
Hold on, that's a pretty heavy question. Why am I in a relationship if I can't apologize? I didn't come to a relationship to have to apologize.
No, you didn't. But please believe if there was an offense on your end, you would want an apology.
Fair enough. Okay. So man, this is interesting. These are 5 very interesting statements expressing regret. And you kept saying in your statement, I need to see regret. I need to see it. What does that look like? Is that flowers? Me bringing you flowers? Is that some kind of gift?
I don't know. That's why
am I down on my knees? What am I doing?
That's why I believe I incorporated the 5 love languages of an apology, because I don't know that every person has a different way of expressing the regret.
So my ability to express regret is also linked to your love languages.
That's what it looks like to me. Because if I read a Facebook post a little while back that said, some people, instead of apologizing, they'd be like, "Come on, let's go get something to eat."
Right.
Or I gotta, here go this flower.
So So I'm asking you, does a flower fix it? Does a bouquet of roses fix it?
It depends on what it is.
You said,
I love flowers.
But does that me buying you something express regret for the egregious act that has been committed against you?
Now that's why I said it depends on what it is.
I'm asking you
because
after 23 years, if all I got to do to get out the doghouse is buy you some flowers.
Yeah, but once you added egregious, it's like, wait a minute.
Well, that's what I'm asking. So does it depend on the level of the offense?
Yeah, I agree. It depends on their level of the.
So flowers ain't gonna get me out of a cheating situation. We all adults. Say what you feel.
Absolutely not.
She was gonna say hell no, y'all. That's what she was gonna say.
I was going to say.
No, she was. She's gonna say hell no, hell no. Hell no, I can't do that. Okay, so that's but okay. So it goes back to my point though. Mm-hmm. What does expressing regret look like? Is it because to me, I'm gonna tell you me, if we're using and this is interesting how you decided to connect the apology languages to the love languages. Okay. If you're doing that, then you buying me a gift is only going to piss me off.
Oh yeah, that's the case.
That's going to make it worse.
I know for you.
Because that feels to me like you're trying to buy your way back into my good graces. And I cannot be bought. I cannot be bought.
Okay.
Unless it's like some new golf clubs or something.
No.
Like then maybe.
Nope, you said you can't be bought.
Then at least I might listen. I don't know. But do you guys know what I'm saying? This is interesting because you're saying the expression of your regret must also match the reception of their stupid out. The expression of their regret must also match the
The love language?
No, I was going to go a different route.
Oh.
Well, I'll say the love language as a cop out, but that's not where I was going.
Okay.
The reason why I brought it up is because what makes it interesting to me when you say express regret, I am sorry, and you kept saying I need to see it. So
well, I'm saying you're when a person apologizes, if they just said, I said I'm sorry, that is you talking about egregious to me. That's egregious to me when a person says, I said I'm sorry. What more do you want? Like, in other words, that was already something magnanimous to ask of me in the first place. If I said sorry, like you said it in passing, and there's nothing, there's no connection, it's empty, there's no heartfelt.
So based on what you just said,
okay,
why is my contrite nature and the level of humility that I bring back to you once I understand not enough? Why do I have to buy you something too? Or is the buying just extra icing on the cake?
That's just
okay. All right, because it felt like you trying to get some flowers out.
No, but you know I love flowers. I'm just saying.
Okay. So I'm saying if I'm contrite and I truly understand. So let's do this. Maybe what you need to see in the expressing of regret is an explanation beyond I am sorry. Maybe it's I am sorry for, and then expressing what the for is. And the for needs to connect to what you've done. Like, sweetheart, I am so sorry that I disrespected you by doing X, Y, and Z. I didn't realize that by doing this, it would cause this or hurt you this way. I would have never done that had I known.
Okay.
Can you forgive me? I was so wrong for that. Whatever. So like 1 and 2 kind of go together, expressing regret and accepting responsibility. They kind of, so that's the C part that you're talking about. Maybe, I don't know. I could be wrong about that because I'm not necessarily married to that. But I understand what you're saying. You're saying the C is there needs to be a contrite nature that you return back with. That now, can I say something? Can I say something?
Sure.
You mind if I say something?
Okay, this is the part that he's building because he wants to say something personal about me. Go ahead.
Not you in particular as much as it is women in general. No, it's women in general. Y'all struggle with that contrite nature thing.
What?
Women struggle to apologize. Women don't like to apologize.
Neither do men.
No, we'll apologize.
Men don't be like, yeah.
No, we will apologize because we want peace.
No.
But women don't like to apologize.
They hear me and hear me good.
No, women don't like to apologize.
In my life, I've met many a man that apology is something to just be like,
Okay, okay, now I am going to be specific. Ninja, you don't like to apologize.
That's not true. Who likes to apologize?
Nobody likes to apologize.
Okay,
but you are... when it's time to really look into why you're apologizing.
But see, I need you to understand, like I expressed from the beginning of the show, is that our lives, we're not taught properly how to do so. So only until you get into a relationship with someone that understands the give and take, the not just saying it to be saying it, but to understand that there's purpose for the apology. There's purpose for understanding. There's a reason why you want to get to the peace, and not to get to the peace, but because you love that person. Right. That's something that has to be you grow into, because our whole lives we're taught to be selfish. We're taught to just say sorry, just say you're sorry, and you're supposed to just say I'm sorry without understanding.
Which is true. All those things you just said are true. Especially maybe more specifically for you. I was not taught to be selfish. I was taught the other side of the apology. If you do something wrong, say I'm sorry. Now, so then I end up saying I'm sorry in a very empty and resolution-based way. Mm-hmm. I just want to resolve this so we can go forward, which is equally egregious. because no one should ever apologize just to move on. To me, an apology, going back to what you said, needs to be connected to deeper understanding of the reason why you're doing it, the offense that has been committed, the wrong that and the part that you played in the wrongness, and how you're trying to go forward. So if you can't connect all those dots, then there's no real reason to make this apology because it's empty. So which is why I say y'all struggle with it.
No, people struggle with it.
In my lifetime, women struggle with it.
Well, I'm here to tell you.
Women don't be wanting to apologize.
As a woman, men and women struggle with this, sir.
Okay.
Try to act like it's all just women.
Women, y'all do struggle with it. Do you not struggle with it?
I'm saying when I struggle with it.
Okay.
I've seen you struggle with it.
I don't struggle with it.
You struggle with it.
When do I struggle with it? I'll be apologizing.
Okay, you know what? Did you eat the bacon?
Huh?
See?
I gotta bring that up.
But see what I'm...
Did I eat the bacon? You gonna call out me on the bacon?
I'm just saying, it's something as simple as that.
Cold-blooded. Yes, I ate that bacon. And I'm not.
See how I took out the... Why did you just say...
Hey, and I'm not sorry.
Oh my gosh.
Hilarious. Oh my God. I can't believe that.
They even have a song out talking about sorry, not sorry. What does that mean?
It means that you're prideful.
Well, then just don't apologize then.
It means that you're prideful. It means that the act that you just committed against me, you did it, and you're really not regretful or remorseful in any way.
So that means that you're aware that you did it.
I am fully aware that I did it, and I do not care that you are hurt behind it. That's what sorry, not sorry means.
Oh man. I mean, they even incorporated in certain commercials for food and stuff on
just like I am with that bacon. Sorry, not sorry.
No, you didn't say that when you...
I'm not sorry.
It's okay. I'll make sure not to make extra bacon.
Why you don't the Lord can't bless what you're doing right
now. The Lord can't bless.
The Lord can't bless that.
Oh my God.
No, all jokes aside. I think I'll say we, but it's...
See how you rolling your eyes?
I'll say we.
Not sorry.
I'll say we. I think we as people struggle to apologize. Like you said, because one, we're not taught, but also because there is a humility that is required in an apology that makes us feel weak. Okay. Or maybe even makes us feel as though the person now has, for lack of better phrasing, an upper hand on us. They've achieved a place in the relationship where maybe they're dominant over us because they have me in a vulnerable place. A true apology requires a level of vulnerability and even humility that is difficult for a lot of us to get to, because I gotta acknowledge what I did. I gotta own my part in how it unfolded, and then I have to be willing to make restitution of the act that has been committed in this way, whatever that restitution may be. It may not be a high cost of restitution, but there is some level of restitution in an apology. All of that puts the power back into your hands, not mine. So now I got to be weak and vulnerable and look like a chump in front of you, and vice versa. You listen. Let me tell you something. We've had some discussions where you knew you was wrong. I've watched you know you was wrong, and then you'll sit there and you'll be like, and I'm like, this heifer is not gonna apologize. She really is gonna say. When I was mad, I did. Yes. When I was mad, I called you a heifer. Could be worse. I could have called you something else, but I didn't call you that.
Wow.
Because I don't use that. I don't use that term. You know, I don't use that term. The B word is what I'm talking about. But I would never use that. I don't use that. So you don't have to look at me crazy. I don't use that. That's not a term that I particularly care for or I feel should be associated with women. That's not my thing.
Okay.
But a helper, absolutely. but you understand what I'm saying? It's people when you feel like a person is not apologize or wants to apologize, you can see if a person wants to apologize or not. Then that gets your goat as well. Like this, hey, you apologize. She done did me wrong, and then like I said, I see that you know that you did me wrong, and you still want to apologize. That's rough.
It's rough, but then it's also I believe that in a particular disagreement between you and I, when we really communicate and you help me to understand the reason or help me to understand what it is that I've missed. Maybe I missed something.
And vice versa.
And that it's like, okay, now I understand and I can really see clearly to say, okay, well then absolutely. I would never want to purposely or intentionally hurt you. I would never want you to feel like you're not valued or you're not honored and respected in this marriage. I would never do that. But if there was something that I did that gave you that impression, then I need to check that. I need to know that. So then I'm conscious of that. And that I won't, as it said here, what number 3, which is make restitution for it and try to make it right so that that's not something that I continue to do to continually hurt you in that area. So then you'll know, man, a change is taking place because this is not something she continues to do to hurt me.
So I got a question. Can the words "I'm sorry" be enough to bring back the peace?
Just the words?
Yeah.
No.
So why are they so necessary then? You need to hear those first. You got to start somewhere.
You have to start somewhere, but at least, and like I said, for me, the words are like an empty can. You'd be mad if you snatched up a soda at the store and the bottle was empty. You'd be like, okay, I came in here for a full bottle. But if you got I'm telling you, I hear when I was working with children, it would always be, I said, I'm sorry. Like, what else? What do you want? And it's like, first of all, they want you to stop acting like it bothered you to have to say the apology.
Right.
You're saying it like it annoyed you. It bothered you. It irritated you. You don't know how much it took for me to muster up the words, I'm sorry. It's like, why are you so angry about it? So if you feel that way about it, then I don't want it. Who wants it if that's if you give it like it's a bitter taste in your mouth?
But it might be a bitter taste in your mouth. I don't. Well, the answer to your question is I don't want it. I don't want an empty apology. Nobody does. Nobody wants an uninformed, half meant, half expressed, apology. Nobody
How
wants
do we
that.
do better in that area?
Well, I think an apology, a true, genuine, repentive apology, is a selfless act. And so I think the way how you do it is you have to step outside of yourself and hear and understand the offense or what has taken place. And then your desire to resolve that issue has to override your desire to be personally satisfied in that moment. It can't be about my win. It can't be about I'm right and they're wrong. It can't be about it has to be about bringing restoration and peace back to this person and this situation. And if it's not about that, I don't know what we're doing. I don't know what this is.
Well, it has to be, because it's almost a waste of time. You'll continually keep having the same type of disagreements in your relationship if you don't learn each other well enough to be able to apologize where the person would receive it. Because if it's just, I'm sorry.
But you said, or they said in the book, Gary Chapman and Jennifer Thomas, whoever they are, that number 4 was genuinely repenting. Try not to do that again. You just said you're going to continue to have this problem if you don't get the lesson.
Yeah, it has to be intentional, a conscious effort of, oh man, I remember that last time. Ooh, I don't want to make that mistake.
So can if a person genuinely is sorry for what they did, do they make the same mistake twice?
They might.
Is it possible to make the same mistake twice?
Absolutely, it's possible to make the same mistake twice.
Okay.
But I think you should see.
So does that negate the original apology if you do it again?
No, I think if you see that there's progress being made, this is not the same. It didn't happen the same.
What if it's exactly the same?
Okay, give me an example.
I promise I won't cheat on you no more. I promise. Take me back. Please take me back. Okay. Then you cheat on me again.
Oh, cheat. Well,
I'm just saying, I went to the most extreme example, but
okay.
I promise I won't take the money out the account and do what I want to do with it. And then you do it again.
That means there's a problem.
Right.
It's not just an apology situation. That means there's a problem.
That was my point. The statement, it says you genuinely repenting. Should it be, I'll try not to do that again? Or should it be, I will not do that again?
Well, I think it needs to be, I will not, because I think that I'll try gives them a pass.
Well, and maybe you need to pass because depending on the severity of the offense, but there's some stuff you need to say, I'll try is not going to get it done to me in some areas. Because if you cheated on me, I'll try ain't it.
That sounds like you don't have faith in yourself.
Well, they may not have faith in themselves. That may be true, but don't tell me I'm gonna try if you haven't resolved the problem. So that goes back to what you just said earlier. A true apology is an acknowledgement of what is truly taking place. And sometimes, so maybe, okay, so here's something. Maybe we're asking people, depending on what the severity of the circumstances are, maybe we're asking for the apology too soon. Because if somebody has a habitual problem, well, getting an apology from that person on the level that we're talking about it here today is going to be relatively empty. Because they don't know what they're doing wrong. And or more importantly, they don't know why they're doing it wrong. You understand what I'm saying? So if a person is taking money out of the account all the time, or they're selfish in nature, or they're doing that and they don't get to the root reasons as to why they keep doing this thing, they're going to continue to keep hurting you until they figure out why they keep doing this thing. So no apology is going to ever satisfy the other person until they resolve like you said, the problem. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So I like the book. I like some of the aspects of what they're trying to say.
This is the book, in case you want to pick it up yourself.
Well,
it's called The 5 Love Languages of an Apology by
5 languages.
5 Languages of Apology by Gary Chapman. Gary Chapman is the author of the 5 Love Languages. That's the reason why I keep saying 5 Love Languages.
But I want to finish what I was going to say.
Okay.
I would take the book, much like the 5 Love Languages book. I would take the book and take some of the principles in it and ask questions about everything else, because there's some stuff. There are levels to this, and I think that's one of the things that both the books See, one of the things I get nervous about was sometimes when we hear self-help books and stuff like that, it sounds good in theory. A lot of this sounds good in theory, but sometimes books are written in principality and they're written in a way, in a one-size-fits-all kind of way, and that's not true. Listen, you genuinely repenting in an adulterous situation is you saying, I'm not going to cheat on you no more.
Okay.
Like,
oh.
John Gray.
Okay.
John Gray. I'm not throwing shade. I'm just example.
Okay.
John Gray cheated on his wife. Right?
Right.
He said, I repent. I'm sorry. You should never have to deal with this. Here's a Cayenne Porsche.
Yeah.
2 years later or 3 years later, whatever it was, he got busted cheating again. So is that genuine repenting? No. Because, bro, you got a problem. So until we deal with the problem, none of these sorries and gifts are ever going to help.
But is cheating something that you can just apologize for?
But that's my point. Yes, if you add the addendum of dealing with the problem. And that's the thing that I think we need to add. That's why I said this is not one size fits all.
Okay.
I think we need to address the other elephants in the room that say, hey, there are sometimes situations, and maybe the book does that, I don't know. But maybe there are sometimes issues in our lives that are far more egregious than just, or far more complicated than just a simple verbal apology can suffice. We need to address more. We need to go to counseling, or you need to go to counseling, or whatever the circumstances may be. Right. There you go, Ron. The action behind the apology needs to match the level of the offense. And if it doesn't, then it's just empty words.
Well, that's true.
Yeah. So that's where I was going with it. So it's a good subject.
Well,
I feel like we may need to dive more into this.
I agree.
Maybe bringing some more people to have this conversation with.
Oh yeah.
We just got to decide.
A couple of couples.
Yeah, like we do it. I don't know if we do it here or we do it on Talking NOIZ Monday through Friday, noon Eastern, 11 a.m. Central. It's definitely an interesting conversation because I think
it should be here. I think it should be a panel of couples. I had a couple in my.
Maybe we should talk. Maybe we should talk to the producer of the show and see if she can pull that together.
I don't know that guy in production. He's
not me. No, I'm not in production. No. This show has a new producer. We just hired him. Get off me. Get off me. Get off. You gonna call me out on the bacon and then want me to help you produce the show? Get off.
See, this is you holding on.
Holding. I am holding on. This is a good show though. Real talk. I really appreciate this conversation. This is a good conversation.
Well, I think it should help open the eyes of some people because for me, the part I just, look back over my life and say, man, I've seen many parents force kids to apologize.
Were you one of those kids? Are you kids?
Huh?
Like you said, I see many parents force, and I'm saying it sounds like you're talking about yourself.
I worked in education, and I'm saying
were you one of those kids that had to be forced to tell people you were sorry?
Well, I said I'm sorry as a child. I learned to apologize from my family. Now
that's a sufficient apology. I ain't gonna hold you. But I'm saying it feels like you are kids.
Well, I just remember hearing say you're sorry for certain things.
So you are kids. You said some kids are forced.
But aren't all kids? No child just comes up and say, I just want to tell you I'm sorry. They got to learn by example.
Well, but I think my example was decent because I think I feel like, and I could be wrong, but I feel like I've always known why I apologized. I've always known. And I think that was the example that was set for me.
I don't think until...
And my apology came as a result of knowing why and what I did.
I'm telling you, now this is full disclosure. I've never known anyone that says, do you know why you apologize until I met you?
But that's my point. I'm
saying that's not been any man that I've ever known that says, do you understand? Do you have a full understanding of why you... What? I'm sorry? A guy say, I'm sorry? And you're like, oh, okay. And you just take it for the full face value of your level of understanding of what you understand.
Well, no, because if a dude tells me I'm sorry, if some random dude or a friend tells me I'm sorry and I know they don't mean it, I just cut them off. You just can't do that in a marriage. You can't cut somebody off in a marriage.
But okay, then there's a difference between apologies.
If you don't mean it, we're probably done.
Apologies in marriage and apologies in
Oh yeah.
Because in dating, you just saying,
well, it's well, I'll say this.
Okay.
The difference is my level of care.
Okay.
I care as a friend if you offend me and then you don't apologize or you apologize emptily.
Is that word?
No.
Okay.
You give me an empty apology. I'm probably going to be like, okay, this dude ain't genuine and he don't mean what he says, so I'm probably gonna deal with him differently now. But in a marriage, that's hard to do. It's hard.
So it's not a straight across the board.
Oh no, I don't think so. I think it's very much different. I think so. Don't you think so?
I would think that. Don't you want it to be authentic whenever
no.
does to anyone?
No, yes, but that's my point. It should be authentic all the way across the board. But my response to the person might be different. For like the way we deaf do you part.
Yeah.
So I got to figure out a way to get to a balanced place of resolve with you in this apology. I have to because we're deaf do you part. But Leroy from accounting, if Leroy is a butthole, and he don't want to apologize for what he did, then me and Leroy ain't gonna rock together no more. My life will move on.
So it's somebody that you don't have a real relationship with, you just walk away.
I'll say this. If I don't feel like the relationship, this is gangster. If I don't feel like the relationship is worth salvaging, then we're good. I don't need your apology. I'd like it. And if you want to offer it, that's great. But I'm not going to lose sleep over it if you decide I'm going to give this dude a janky apology. I'm like, okay, well then, you show me who you are. I believe it now. We can move on.
Wow. This is really heavy because I'm really concerned that there are a wealth of married couples, a wealth of people in relationships that don't know how to apologize, and that they were a part of the group of kids that were just taught to say sorry so we can move on and never taught to get understanding or to express authenticity, express regret, restitution. They weren't taught that. And so here they are in a marriage, and some people have divorced for the lack thereof these things. I agree.
Now, and see, that's the scary part for me, because if you take my attitude about how I treat people that are in my life that I'm not really, but if I take that into a marriage, that's dangerous, because that is dangerous to do it that way. You can't do that. That's not going to help you. You can't make a marriage work in the same way that you make associations work.
But in the
or friendships,
multitudes of premarital counseling that we've done, that should be a category all by itself.
Well, I try to make sure I bring it up, but
forgiveness.
Yeah, I try to make sure I bring it up, but
forgiveness and apology.
I tell you what, because we run out of time.
Oh,
this is good though. Listen, we got something. Next week is Valentine's Day weekend, so we got something else planned for that. But in 2 weeks we'll do this again, and we'll see about bringing on some couples. and we'll have a kind of like a panel discussion. How's that work?
Yeah, that's
You down with Thug Life?
I am. I really do want to see people learn how to properly apologize and get that healing of.
Because I agree with Sean. It's not genuine if I got to force it out of you.
Well, and but then the other thing is that if you want to make sure it's. I mean, how do I give you a genuine, authentic apology that you will receive? Because like in the book, it has the different ones where there's some people it's like, it's not even optional if I don't get the regret with it. Or it's not even optional if I don't see you say, what can I do to make the restitution of the offense?
We definitely got to have a panel discussion. So we will do that in 2 weeks. 2 weeks. Phenomenal discussion. Thank you, Mama.
Oh, you're welcome.
You did good. You did good. I give you a B plus.
Oh, thanks. Can't get no A. I guess it won't be no extra bacon.
No, the A comes.
No extra bacon.
The A comes about what you do after this show.
No.
I love you, baby.
I love you.
All right, this was phenomenal. Come back next week for the Valentine's show, and then the week after we'll do the panel discussion. But tonight we got Uncorked Wine, so don't miss that. And man, great show. Thank you, Mama Noise. That was awesome. Y'all have a good one. Peace.
You should have believed.